Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Christy if you're new here. If you are, you want to hit that subscribe button. Great. Helps us out a lot. Anyways, today I'm going to be reviewing and trying out the new Transitions palette by Dominique Cosmetics. There, I'm going to show you some tips and tricks on working with hooded eyes and just doing some simple beauty tricks that keeps the eyes looking simple but sexy. So if you want to see how I got this look and you want to learn a few things on some tips and tricks, then just keep on watching. So I figured we would play around with this Transition palette by Dominique Cosmetics. Looks like this. And if you don't know what a transition color means, I'm guessing that's why she picked the name for the palette. A transition color, as you see here, there's a lot of neutrals. They're all mattes, which is great, since I want to kind of teach you a little bit more about using transition shades and let me try to speak. Hello. But yeah, using transition shades and also how to keep it simple, just like it actually says on the mirror, which I think is adorable. It says keep life simple. Couldn't agree more. So I really know where she was going with this palette. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. I'm going to keep it simple for y'all. I'm even going to kind of teach you how to do a nice look for maybe if you have hooded eyes or if you have more mature skin. It's great to, stick with matte colors and matte shades like that, because sometimes shimmers can, I still love my shimmers, okay? I probably will love my shimmers until I'm 90 years old. I don't care. But some people, it does, I will say that it does kind of, make your lids, like if you have very, wrinkly lids and more mature skin or whatever, shimmers can bring more attention to that. So that's why a lot of more mature women prefer mattes, which, I mean, they look absolutely gorgeous. So I think I'm gonna first go in with a transition color. For me, that would probably be the caramel here, this one. Because a transition color is it's usually a couple shades darker than your natural skin tone. I'll talk as I'm doing. And it's a couple shades darker than your natural skin tone. And it also, what it does is helps blend other colors. So regardless of what colors you're going in with, even if you're going in with very colorful, I mean, especially if you're going in with very colorful colors, that's when you really do want to use a transition shade, because it just does. It helps, blend all those colors together a little bit more seamlessly, so they don't give you as much trouble. But yeah, this is my first palette from her. Usually you do put your transition shade. You can either put it all over your lid or right in the crease, just to, especially if you're going in with darker colors into your crease. That way it helps blend them a little bit more easier, So anyhow, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just sticking with that caramel color. And a transition shade, you don't have to be very neat with it, because you're going to go over top of it anyhow. And then usually what you want to do is go in with an even smaller, denser brush. So I started off with a bigger brush for my transition shade. You guys see me use this brush all the time. Now, the reason for that is because it blows that color out a little bit more, okay? So the more concentrated, the deeper that you're going in and more concentrated color that you're going in with, you want to pick a smaller, denser brush. So you can use something like this, or you can use, what's this, a Sigma E25, use something like this, That's great for the crease as well. And then just go smaller and smaller as you're, you know, going down further or more towards the corner of your eye if you want to pack that color in. So the next color I'm going to go in is with this color. It's a little bit darker. Actually, I'm going to mix blushing and what's this color? Mocha. Okay, so sorry about this mirror. So blushing and mocha, I'm going to mix those two colors, and I'm going to bring that down a little bit lower. And again, it's nothing, you know, fancy. It's just, you know, pretty natural eye, something that an everyday casual look. But yeah, these colors are quite pretty. And the cool thing about this palette is it can be used for contouring. It's a eye and face palette, which is really, really, you know, innovative, I think. So if you have hooded eyelids like I do, what you want to do is you want to concentrate the darker colors on the outside of the eye, especially if you have, I call my eyes hooded and they're a little bit downturned now. That's why I'm wearing a ponytail. I'm trying to give myself a facelift, but it ain't working. Anyhow, yeah, if you have more downturned, you know, almond-shaped eyes that are also hooded, they can be a bitch to work with. They can be very pretty, but there's some tricks to the trade. So you just want to use the darker colors mainly on the outside. Again, like I always say, there's no rules to makeup. You see me, I wear whatever I want to wear. But if you'd like to, you know, follow the rules or help lift that eye up a little bit, just mainly concentrate the darker colors towards the outside of the eye. That will actually help lift the eye and do it more like a cat eye. So you're bringing those colors upwards and outwards. So one, it helps the droopiness and you'll like pull that, angle it upwards. I'll show you once I do that angle more. And then you're going to keep your lighter colors, your lighter shades towards the inside of your eye and your lid to kind of help open that up. So you don't want to, you know, close it more since it's already hooded. That's another reason why I do love my brow bone highlights as well, but I concentrate my brow bone highlight mainly up here. Okay, I don't like do it from here to here. I just concentrate it kind of more on the outside of my eyebrow. So again, that gives me a little bit of an eye lift. You know what I'm saying? Tricks to the trade when you get older. And just use very light pressure, circular motions as you're blending those shades in. You don't want anything super dark or crazy, you know. But then again, just like I said, fan it outwards and upwards. So this is a very sultry, simple look, you know. Again, nothing crazy. And the trick to blending, I always use this trick, is take a clean blending brush and go over what you did. That's why a lot of times you guys will see me talking and it will look like I'm, you know, blending the same shades for 9 million hours. It's true. I mean, I do really like my shades blended and I don't speed things up. That's why I'm usually telling you guys stories and whatnot as I'm doing my eye looks. It's, you know, 1, to keep you entertained, but 2, I'm a chatty Cathy, and 3, because it does in, you know, real life, when you're doing especially more exaggerated eye looks, it takes a while, you know, because you want to keep going over each color with a clean blending brush. So it looks a lot more diffused and pretty, but mattes are very easy in a sense. Well, I shouldn't say all mattes. Okay, good mattes are very easy to work with, generally speaking. Now for my lid, I'm gonna mix Frothy and Natural, these two lightest shades, on my lid. Again, we're just gonna keep it nice and natural, nothing over the top. And I'm gonna really, you know, concentrate that on, you know, the inner portion of my lid to like the middle iris of my eye there, and then just keep the darker colors on the outside. Yeah, I tell you, a look like this can literally take you a couple minutes in the morning, especially when you do it all the time. This used to be kind of my go-to look when I'd go to work in the morning or whatnot. Now I'm going to take an even smaller brush. This is a Luxie brush. And now I'm going to try to concentrate even more on the outside of my eye. And I'm going to go in with this dark brown color called Cinnamon here. It's like, got a little bit of a reddish tone to it. But again, just very, very light pigment. Like I tap it into the palette very lightly and then I dust it off. Tap, dust it off. And now I'm going to just pat that color on the outside there. And just kind of using stamping motions. And then slightly and, you know, very gently work that up into the crease, but just that outer crease, leaving most of the pigment on the outside of the eye. And I might bring it in a tiny bit towards my lashes, because that's another good trick. If you have very teeny tiny lashes like I do, you want to darken them up and make them look a little bit fuller, I'll show you another trick. That's another thing, is I have a very like inturned corner. So kind of like move your brush so it's kind of like poking towards your eye but stamping it. And then fan it inwards this way. But very like gentle motions. And then as you're blending with that clean blending brush, just kind of, you can move that pigment upwards. Like I go back and forth, and then I also swirl it on the outside and move it kind of up towards my brow bone and out. Just so it gets that nice like fanned, blown out look on the sides. Now I'm going to go in with an even tinier brush, and I'm going with that color right next to it called Coffee Beans. Cute name. Now I love using tiny brushes. If you have really small eyes, the smaller brushes are going to be your best friend. Why? Because we don't have a lot of real estate. We don't have much going on, a lot of landscaping to cover there. So we got to get in really tight corners and tight places. So again, I stamp in that corner area, and then I just kind of like connect it all together and use teeny tiny circular motions to get a pretty blend in the corner there and on my lash line. This kind of helps it, almost like if you're using a liner right on your lashes there. And then what I'll do a lot of times is I will use that same brush and I will like mix it in a lighter color when I'm bringing it up into my crease. That way it kind of, you know, makes your own brown. You know, lightens it up so it's not super dark on that outside, but it gets a nice clean pretty blend there, almost like an ombre effect. But yeah, we're concentrating mainly all the colors on the outer portion of our eye. And then that clean blending brush, you can move that, I always kind of move that color a little bit towards the inside of the eye, but it's where it's up top here. And there's nothing on this brush, so therefore I'm just going to get a very soft gradient. You know, that way it doesn't look like, oh, bunch of color here and then nothing here. You know what I'm saying? It just kind of helps blend it more. So it looks like it's more intentional and diffused rather than just a quick, clean stop, you know, or a harsh stop. And then again, just go over what you did. I know it seems tedious, but once you're used to doing this, it's super quick. It's just like dink dink and done, you know? And then I take those colors, run it underneath my lash line. And if you want to really open up the eyes, just kind of do it towards the outskirts of your eye corner there, you know, and maybe bring it in halfway. You don't even have to bring it in that far if you don't want to. It all depends on your mood, what you're liking, what you dislike. This way, you know, it connects to that outer corner. And again, it elongates the eye. So I'm going to take Frothy, the lightest, whitest color there. And I'm going to hit the top of my brow bone. Just a little bit. I kind of grabbed the wrong brush. Oops, I usually use a teeny tiny brush, but this one kind of angles, so I can just hit it with the point there. And then I'm also going to cover up that lid space again. I wouldn't say this is a very pigmented white. Usually if I'm going to do a look like this, what I'll do is I'll put a white base down first, and then I will put down the white or creamy white, this color I would say is, shadow on top of it. So one, it stays all day, and two, it just kind of makes it pop more. And just bring that color into the inner corner a little bit more, and you can bring it even underneath to highlight that section. So then you fully have just the dark on the outside and the light on the inside. I think just for a little bit of contrast, this is a beautiful, it's called Honey, and it looks like this mustardy yellow color. I love colors like this because I have hazel eyes, and it just tends to bring it out, and I like contrast colors, so I'm just going to hit the edge of that. You don't have to do this step. I just like a little bit more contrast with my shadows, but I'm just going to keep it on the edge on the outside there and blend the two together with the brown and this honey color. They look absolutely beautiful together. And yeah, it's really as simple as that. Now the trick with your lashes, if you'd like to darken those lashes up, is show you in just a second here. With lashes, take a flat defining brush like this here, and what you're gonna do, you have several options, but obviously if you're gonna wear mascara, what I would do is I would take this black color on the bottom here called Smoky, and just take a little bit just on the tip of the brush. And what you're going to do is you're going to wiggle this color up into your lash line here, like right on your lashes. And this will darken up that line even more. So when you do put mascara on, one, it holds the mascara even more so, but two, it just gives you some more depth to the eye there. And I tend to go for a brown eyeliner for my inner corner, or for my inner liner. But if you really want to open up your eyes, then you can use a cream colored one, a nude colored liner. You know, my favorite is the Charlotte Tilbury Classic Brown liner. Looks like this. It's very natural, very daytime appropriate. But again, I do, at times, I will use, you know, a nude pencil. One of my favorite ones is by Lorac. There was one by Rimmel London that I think I still have that was really great as well. But yeah, if you use the nude liner right on your inner corner, or your inner line, I guess you'd say, it really makes them pop. Some people like that look, some people don't. They think maybe it looks a little too cartoon characterish. It depends on your taste, honestly. But I just go in with like a light brown color, and a lot of times what I'll do is, especially if it's just daytime, is I'll just hit that outer edge very lightly, and we'll bring it in probably like halfway, rather than bringing it all the way into the corner of my eye here. I'll just bring it in halfway, just to give my eyes a little bit of definition so they're opened up. And then curl my lashes and put on some mascara, and I'll be done. I also like to kind of like tilt my eyelash curler upwards like this to really get those babies to curl up, and I just pulsate it. I do this about 2-3 times. And I always use a waterproof mascara for 1, and 2, because I do have such baby lashes and I have such small eyes, as I've told you before, I go in with a wand mascara like this. That's very, you know, kind of skinny and, you know, not very thick and full, because it just helps me out so much with, you know, lengthening my lashes, curling them up, and, you know, separating them, but without getting too clumpy and without transferring onto my lid. So, and I do about 2 coats of mascara, and out the door I go. Simple as that. So I will finish up the other eye right quick, and I'll be right back and show you the finished look. Hey guys, well, this is the finished look that I came up with. As you see, very simple to do and recreate. Honestly, I love it. I really like the palette a lot. I love my mattes, as I keep saying over and over again, and I think the color selection is spot on, gorgeous. You couldn't ask for better colors, because I mean, it has pretty much everything you need, from your light colors here all the way to your blacks. Sorry, I'm looking in the monitor, everything's backwards. That's why I'm always messing up. But anyhow, yeah, I mean, not to mention that it's multi-purposeful, which, you know, I love products like that you can use for bronzing, blushing, you know, eyeliner, you know, eyeshadow. It saves you so much time in the morning. So, I mean, would I recommend this palette? I really would, because of the fact that, 1, it blends great. 2, I think that it's very unique in the sense that it is multi-purposeful, and all the shades in here I can see working for several different skin tones. So that's an A+ in my book. You know, a lot of times you don't get that. I know when you first look at the palette, you're like, well, you know, Christy, there's nothing really fun and exciting about this palette. But yes and no. I mean, because of the fact that it does have such a good range of deep tones and light tones, you can do so many looks with it. Even though you may look at this and think, no, I can pretty much do a smoky eye, or I can pretty much do, you know, this simple eye look that I did today. But if you want an everyday palette, and also one that is going to work for, like I said, I mean, I see myself using like these two colors for bronzing and contouring, and this color for blush, and this color for eyeliner. I mean, I really do think that it's a great palette, and it worked out beautifully. It blended beautifully. You know, it was easy to work with. So only my first palette from Dominique Cosmetics, so I'm gonna have to try some more of her stuff. But yeah, I think that it's a really great palette. But I hope the tricks and tips that I showed you working with hooded eyes, and yes, I did put on some lashes. I know it was going to be a simple look, but another trick and tip with hooded eyes is that if you do put on lashes, you don't have to. Obviously, if you have beautiful long lashes naturally, don't even bother. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, I would die for that. But since I have such teeny baby lashes, I do have to, well, I don't have to, but I like it better when I have eyelashes on, and especially the ones that kind of fling out towards the sides and they're shorter on the inside, because then again, it gives me that elongation that I need, and it helps with my turned down hooded eyes, so it just pulls them up. It's kind of like an eye lift, you know what I'm saying? I do have a lash tutorial that explains it all. For those of you that want to check that out, I'll link it above here. And anyways, in the meantime, I hope you guys learned a few things, some tips and tricks, and I hope you guys ended up liking this eye look. I think it's great for an everyday casual wear. And really, I mean, this is kind of my go-to casual, you know, because of the fact that I feel personally more confident, and that it helps my eye shape in particular. You know, if you don't have those problems where you have downturned hooded eyes, god, it'd be a miracle if I could actually talk through an entire video without slurring my words. No, I don't drink before my videos, I swear. But anyways, yeah, I hope you guys learned some things, and like the eye look that I came up with. Anyways, as I always say, I hope you all are doing very, very well. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.